What's up, guys? This is Andrew Hamill, your go-to San Antonio, New Braunfels realtor, and today we're going to discuss the pros and cons of living in New Braunfels in 2023. If you're considering making a move here, then you're going to want to stick around to the end where I go over my biggest con about living in this city. Pro number one is the natural beauty and outdoor fun that this city has to offer.
How neat is that?
The most common thing we hear from out-of-town visitors and people that move in here is how much natural beauty this city has and how much fun you can have outdoors in such a small town. We've got everything from Canyon Lake, which is a man-made lake that has swim beaches, to Landa Park that has a golf course, mini golf course, wade pool, fishing, playgrounds, anything you can think of, even a kiddie train that runs through the whole park. And you can't talk about New Braunfels without mentioning the largest outdoor water park in Texas, Schlitterbahn, which is awesome to go check out. You cannot pass up the opportunity to float the two rivers that we have at the center of town here. Everything about this city screams, explore me. I remember the first time that I visited New Braunfels, just driving here was amazing. Going through all the windy country roads and seeing all the hill country and just the beauty and the nature that's out here. It was so awesome. If you're a fan of the great outdoors, I've got about 100 things for you to try out here.
That's pretty neat.
Personal favorite thing to do, and the thing that I always remember, is floating the Kamau River with my friends and just floating through and seeing all the beautiful 100-year-old trees that just kind of shade the whole river and just kind of relaxing and soaking in the sun. It was amazing. So my first con about living in New Braunfels is definitely the seasonal congestion and the traffic. Now, because New Braunfels is a small city with a lot to offer, if you were a local living here, you're not gonna like how congested it can be and how bad traffic can get sometimes.
Trying to merge, not trying to get ahead of anybody, just merging. This isn't a contest, you!
Now, keep in mind, no place worth living is not gonna have this problem, but it's something to be aware of. New Braunfels over the last decade has ranked in the top 10 every year of fastest growing cities in the country. And the city planners have not been able to keep up with the demand in terms of infrastructure and expanding highways and streets. Because of this, you're gonna run into some bottleneck situations in certain areas of town at peak hours. I'm always on Google Maps looking to see how long in advance I need to leave my house to get somewhere, especially during these peak hours.
Why are all these people here? There's too many people on this earth. We need a new plague.
The congestion is really obvious during this vacation times, during the summer and the winter. Keep in mind, we're only a town of 100,000 people, but we see over 4 million visitors here every year. So it gets kind of crazy. You're also gonna notice that every restaurant is packed on the weekends. I'm talking a 45-minute to an hour-long wait for dinner at most locations. But one thing you can do is to prepare in advance is either reserve a table, with most restaurants will have that, join a wait list on Google, or just avoid those peak times altogether and you'll be fine.
Genius, genius!
If you need help selling or finding a home in the San Antonio, New Braunfels area, text HOME to the number on the screen here, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we'll get back to you and get your journey started. We got your back when it comes to moving to San Antonio and New Braunfels. Let's get back to the video. So pro number two is the rich cultural heritage that this city has. When I first moved to New Braunfels, Texas, it was definitely a culture shock for me. You see, I come from San Antonio, Texas, which is a huge melting pot, but has a huge Hispanic influence and heritage and history.
Sometimes they say huge, not a bad one, huge.
Which I was used to. So imagine my surprise moving to New Braunfels and figuring out this is like a German town. It's kind of crazy how you see that big change in culture and heritage. But I've fallen in love with this. This town really loves its German roots and it shows. In fact, our biggest event that we hold every single year is called Wurstfest. Wurst in German stands for sausage. So it's literally a sausage fest.
In here, we keep our wieners in our packages.
But what's awesome about Wurstfest is that it takes place in a dedicated festival grounds here in New Braunfels near downtown. And it's a month-long celebration about the town's history and its German heritage and influence. I'm talking German beers, German brats, and other types of German food, live polka music, and you'll see a ton of people wearing lederhosens, and dirndls. See, I still don't know how to say it. I find really hilarious though. Besides Wurstfest, we also have Wasselfest, which takes place during Christmas, And basically they shut down all of downtown New Braunfels. All the trees are lit up, and basically all the businesses are handing out this samples of wassail, which is like a tastier version of a hot apple cider. And by the way, they have alcoholic versions of this as well. So if you don't have kids, this is definitely a cool place to go with your friends and have a fun night out.
All right, all right, all right.
Now, it wouldn't be Texas without a little Lone Star flair, and we definitely have that. Every year we have the Comal County Festival, which includes everything from barbecue cook-offs, the parade that runs through downtown New Braunfels, a carnival, of course, and a rodeo. And besides all this, the city has done a really good job maintaining the old world aesthetics of New Braunfels. And there's actually 2 different locations in town that are nationally registered as historical landmarks and sites, meaning the way the buildings look cannot change. It has to keep that old world feel. We have 2 separate nationally registered historical districts in downtown New Braunfels and Green, which is another area of town that you gotta check out. So it feels like you literally have traveled back in the past, and it seems like everywhere you go on the weekends, there's live music, awesome food, fantastic shops, and just cool people everywhere. If you want to feel like you're a part of a community, New Braunfels is the place for you. Con number 2, the heat.
It's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice.
Here's the thing, it's Texas. What do you think when you imagine Texas summers? Probably tumbleweeds, cactus, and just overall just brutal heat. And that's true, except for the tumbleweeds. I haven't seen any of those. Just accept the fact that you're gonna hate your life for about 3 months out of the year.
And guys, dry fit underwear is a must.
But honestly, if you do all of your outdoor things either before 10 a.m. or after 6 p.m., you'll be fine. And there's plenty of water activities to do out here to keep you cool during the heat. Besides the heat, South Texas is known to have some pretty severe thunderstorms and weather events. In all honesty, you're gonna get a handful of crazy thunderstorms. I'm talking pounding rain, golf ball sized hail, lots of lightning. It's pretty crazy and scary at times. As far as tornadoes go, even though we're technically in Tornado Alley, I've personally been here 37 years in San Antonio, New Braunfels. I've never once experienced a tornado. You hear about it every now and then, but it's usually on the outskirts of town. And so it's not really a big deal.
Cal, I gotta go, Julia. We got cows.
The other 9 months out of the year are actually pretty pleasant, and that's why we do get a lot of vacationers here and a lot of snowbirds during the winter time frame, because it's a little bit warmer and you're able to enjoy the outdoors even during the winter time. You're gonna love it overall. Just stay inside from July to August is my recommendation. If you wanna learn more about what it's like to live, eat, sleep, play, and work in the San Antonio, New Braunfels area, go and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video from us. And we're gonna cover every square inch of this great city. And if you found this information helpful, go ahead and hit that like button so that other people like you can find this too. Let's get back to the video. Pro number 3, prime location. Now you've heard the old real estate adage, it's all about location, location, location. And this is honestly my biggest pro of living in this city. We are right smack in the middle of 2 major cities, with San Antonio to the south of us and Austin directly to the north. Let's talk about job opportunities. New Braunfels in and of itself has awesome opportunities if you're looking for work, such as in aviation, logistics, and manufacturing. But what if that's not your jam? No worries. Just north of us in Austin opens up a whole other world in terms of the financial services sector, information and biotech, and advanced manufacturing. Heard of Tesla? Or you can just travel 20 minutes south into San Antonio and work in the healthcare field, cybersecurity. We got several military bases in there that have plenty of job opportunities. Hospitality and leisure is a huge thing down here. Now, besides having a wide pool of job opportunities available to you, living between San Antonio and Austin means you've got 3 times the amount of options in terms of fun things to do during the week and on the weekends. My favorite part about living in between San Antonio and Austin is if I want to take a vacation somewhere, I have 2 different airports that I can search for tickets. That means I've got better flight options and better pricing to choose from. And here's a big thing. It's not a matter of if, but when San Antonio and Austin merge together, much like Dallas, Fort Worth, which we're calling it Austintonio. It's gonna happen. What do you think that's gonna mean for all the people that live right in the middle in New Braunfels? What do you think that's gonna do for your home appreciation years from now?
He's absolutely right.
Con number 3, we finally made it to the biggest con about living in this otherwise great city, and it's the bugs. I hate bugs. I will never understand why God invented bugs, and you will never convince me that they serve a greater purpose. I hate bugs.
I'm sorry. Was that your auntie?
If you're coming from the northern area where it's a lot colder, or if you come from a high elevation area like Colorado, you're gonna notice this immediately. And it's not that New Braunfels is some special magnet for bugs. It just comes with living in South Texas. It's hot here. It's very wooded areas. It's gonna attract a lot of bugs. And it's not just that we have bugs, because I think every place has bugs. We've got a lot of biting bugs, which is worse. I'm talking scorpions, spiders, mosquitoes, ants, wasps and hornets, snakes. And the worst of all of those, I would rather be stung by every single one of those on a daily basis. But the biggest thing I cannot stand is the cockroaches. Now the winters aren't too bad here, but the summers, you will notice them right away. It's hot outside, they're trying to come inside where it's cool, just like we are. Also, if you're moving into a brand new home or a relatively new community, you're gonna notice it a lot more. It takes a while for all the wildlife to kind of get the hint and move out of the area. So those first few years is gonna be a bit of a bug battle. Now, luckily, technology has come a long way in terms of pest control. And for, I'd say, the last 20 years or so, pretty much all of the new home builders have included in their production an in-wall pest control system, which is basically just tubing that runs throughout your house, primarily in your wet areas like your sinks, your bathrooms, your things like that. And they all lead to the outside of your house into a port where a pest control company can plug in and pump in the pesticides behind your drywall to mitigate a lot of that bug activity. So if you sign up for a quarterly service for a pest control company to come out and take care of your house, that'll mitigate a lot of the issues. But it's not all bad. I mean, every year about September, October timeframe, we get this really cool migration of monarch butterflies that come from Mexico. So it's beautiful to just see all these beautiful butterflies just flying through and just seeing their journey. And then you get behind the wheel and then it's not so beautiful anymore. But overall, New Braunfels is a great place to live. I'm so glad I moved here 6 years ago. And I can't honestly think of a better place to raise a family than right here. For me, the pros far outweigh the cons, and I think you're gonna really love living here. If you're looking to make a move in the San Antonio, New Braunfels area, contact me anytime, day or night, 24/7. I got my information right here. And click over here for the next video to learn more about living in this awesome city. Take care.